Tell me a little bit about your background and your role.
Hi, sure, Todd. I actually was hired by Union Gas 30 years ago in 1985, having just graduated from university with a degree in geology. And while I was at university, I took one computer science course as an elective in Fortran, which back then was the scientific language used by computers. I was hired by Union Gas to become a computer programmer and take that very little amount of knowledge I had in computer science, but more importantly, the education I had, and work in our IT group with our engineers. At that time, computers were fairly new, and IT and engineering weren't getting along really well. It was difficult to understand the business needs for the computer programs that needed to be written. And I was able to really translate, if you will, or be that interface between engineering and IT to help develop better systems. After I did that for 3 years, I was asked to move into the business side of Union Gas and take my IT knowledge with me. So now I could take the IT knowledge onto the business side and really represent the business better when we needed to design and implement new systems. Back in August of 2014, just last summer, to become the Director of Customer Care at Union Gas. And for me, it was a lot like coming home. I'd spent my formative years in customer accounting, took a 10-year hiatus, and came back into what's now called customer care at Union Gas.
What changes are you seeing with your customers?
What's changed? Well, I'll start with maybe what hasn't changed, and you know, our desire to make sure our customers have the best possible service that we can afford to give them has never changed. It didn't matter if it was in operations or customer care. Looking after our customers has always been important to us. What has changed is the tools, the types and kinds of systems that we have to support our customers, all the various avenues that are out there today. 10 years ago, we put our gas bill on the internet in 2004. It was the last project I worked on before I went out into operations in the field. And at that time, in 2004, you know, if you had a centralized contact center, an IVR, a website with your gas bill on it, you were, I'd say, leading edge, right? You come back today and there's just so much more that has changed. People want to come to our website and interact with us. That transactional nature of self-serve is there. We've also got social media coming at us. Customers have a lot of opinions. It's great when they call us and talk to us about it, but they also can post it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and keeping an eye on all of that and staying in front of our customers' needs and helping them out is very different than it was 10 years ago.
Speak to the key challenges in redesigning the processes.
I was fortunate to take over our planning and dispatching for Union Gas for our field work, and during the time I was in that role, our system became end of life and needed to be replaced. Once we started looking into putting in a new system, we recognized that this system change was actually a catalyst for us to look at everything that we did around planning and dispatch. We ended up bringing together a team where we documented all of our new processes, documented training. We consolidated the work in planning in 8 offices down to 3 offices. We looked at the organization structure that we had around planning and dispatching of work and actually had our planners and our dispatchers working in the same pod, working up for the same reasons, if you will, and that was to get all of our work done in a year. We no longer had fighting for resources of you know, which priority was higher today. Was it getting the customer work done or getting our plant work done? All the people that had to organize that work were working together. At the end, we found tremendous success. Our overtime in the field was down significantly. Our customer satisfaction was up significantly. We also now could systematically prove compliance to all the field work that we needed to do over the year. You bundle all those things together and it was a tremendous success. So in our billing centers, we were driven by paper. And every billing adjustment was a piece of paper that got printed off, handed out, and worked on. Over the last year and a half, we implemented a new workflow management system where now the work is gathered and distributed electronically to our employees. Again, we looked at where does this work come from, how should this work be handled, what is the timing of this work, and by putting it into the work queue, we've been able to really understand the work, what drives us to do these adjustments, and also to prioritize and reprioritize on a real-time basis what's the most important billing adjustments for us to be working for our customers to hit the billing cycle that may be coming up. We couldn't have done that without really understanding the work and actually having our employees help us design and develop the best system that we could put out there.
How do your employees fit into this future?
We're fortunate in that many of the folks that we ask to work on these projects are already enthused and engaged, and they want to be involved with the change. You know, they're that top third, if you will, that are out there and are ready for change and just can't wait to help get there. And every project, though, there's going to be some downtime, there's going to be some slowdowns, there's going to be some disappointments, some setbacks. As a leader, you know, we want to support individuals do the best they can. And when we do have a setback, the best thing we can do is let them know we understand, that we are going to get through this, and again, engage them to say, help us move this thing forward. A lot of people sometimes need a hug. A lot of people sometimes need to talk, and you need to be set and ready to listen and be supportive.
Talk about process.
The way I worked years ago is different than the way I work today. And we put together great projects teams. It doesn't matter when it was, 90s, 2000s. We brought together vendors that shared a common belief that we did. They were partners when they came to the table with us. We brought in our project managers, we brought in IT, we brought in our process coordinators, and they would design on paper great systems. But many of these people have actually never done the work, or they haven't done the work lately. Maybe they did work in the call center a few years ago, and now they've moved into a supervisor or management or project role. But things do change, and without having the voice of the customer, who in our case is our employees, and without having the people that do the work, like I say, the folks who do this work, they know where the pressure points are, they know where the hot spots are with customers, and they have developed quite often their own methods to work around some of the system issues we've had in the past. So you bring them together and say, now we're developing something from scratch, we're buying an off-the-shelf package, and we need to develop our processes and procedures to support it. They will bring to the table the best solutions to deal with a lot of the issues they already have in their job, and to try to make the world a better place when all is said and done. Safety is #1 priority at Union Gas. We have implemented new dog bite prevention training. So 3-4 years ago, we were having 9-10 dog bite incidents a year. The last couple of years after this new training's been put in place, we're down to 1 dog bite incident last year, which is just tremendous. Trips and falls are still an issue for us, and that's one nut we're still trying to crack, but it isn't because of lack of focus and lack of desire on both accounts to get there. We suffered through the polar vortex last year with the supply issues that generated rate increases last year. We've had to work through that really over the entire year up until now, where even this past February, pretty much all across Ontario, we had the coldest February on record. I don't know how long people have been keeping records, but for 150 years, I'm sure. And the cold weather generates phone calls, customers' usage is up, meter reading estimates. There's meters out there we couldn't find for 3 or 4 months because of all the snow we've had over the last couple of years, which is unusual for us.